Hey guys, this is Dr. Steven with InMotion Sport Spine. And today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how we go about evaluating baseball players. Now this is just a snippet of how I go about assessing a baseball player, whether it be just from a mobility standpoint, a strength standpoint, a re-entry back into pitching, playing, or throwing. But this little device right here helps me quantify how strong you are with your rotator cuff, how mobile you are with your mid-back or thoracic spine, and potentially how mobile you are with your hips. And I just wanted to take a moment to demo the unique capabilities of a tool like this in a clinic, okay? So what I'm gonna demonstrate to you is how we measure rotator cuff strength both with external rotation and internal rotation. Some studies in the past has shown us that we wanna be balanced to a certain degree. The muscles on the back side of our shoulder are largely responsible for external rotation, and they tend to be just a touch weaker than the bigger muscles on the front side of the shoulder, which are more responsible for internal rotation. We just want to make sure that the athlete has appropriate balance from back to front. We definitely don't expect that number to be equal, but we want it to be fairly close. Most research has shown that if you are balanced from back to front, you're going to be just a touch weaker in the back, and that number, if we take the number from the back side over the front side, is going to come out to about 0.7, maybe 0.8. So largely we want to be almost as strong on the back as we are on the front, and the way that we can know that, or if we maybe need to work on a certain area, is with something like this. Okay, so here in a moment I'm going to lay down and just kind of demonstrate what this might look like in my office and how we can go about capturing those data points. So the first one we're going to do is external rotation. So I'll put this device on. I'm going to lay down here and put my arm up against this wall here so I have something immovable or hard to push against. Okay? So down onto the floor we go. I would have my athlete lay flat just like so. Arm goes up against the wall, and then they're going to push, as you'll see me demonstrate here, into the wall as hard as they can for a count of 2 or 3. Then we would measure the internal rotators, which means we slide up and through the door. And we're going to end up doing the same thing here. Arm is going to go this time on this side of the wall, and then we're going to press our arm just like this into the wall for a count of 2 or 3, and then we'll get our data point. Okay? From there, we can make some decisions. Are you sufficiently balanced? Do you have enough strength in your rotator cuff? Do we need to work on external rotator strength? Or is our routine working pretty well? Okay. Other things that I can do with this is we can hold it here against our rib cage, and then we can measure the ability for the athlete to rotate their thoracic spine in both directions. Like so. That's going to give us a number, hopefully balanced from side to side. And then hopefully we're looking for the athlete to at least have 50 degrees in both directions. And that's going to tell us a little bit about if they can create separation with their torso from their pelvis, or if maybe we're missing some mobility that might negatively impact that. And then finally, we can use this device to capture mobility in our hip. So we would place it around the ankle like so, and then I would have them sit with legs dangling, and then they're going to rotate their leg out to the side. This is actually internal rotation here at the hip, and then also I'd have them go in with the leg, which is external rotation here at the hip. Again, this just gives us data points. Is the athlete mobile enough? Maybe their backside, they have trouble internally rotating into their hip, which can make it more challenging for them to load their backside, which we all know is where the power comes from as we deliver the ball towards our target, or as we load our back hip when we're attempting to swing a bat. So this is just a little snippet of how we can capture some real data and not just look at the eyes or do a muscle test that's just solely based on feel. That helps us create something that's more specific to the athlete through measurables and things that we can track. And this is something that we don't have to be injured to use. This is something that I've gone out to places like Southwestern University or Round Rock High School or Hyde Park High School and looked at their athletes so I could give their coaches an idea of, hey, we're weak in a certain area, or hey, we've got a team with some stiff hips or stiff torso. Or we actually pull out a few guys that they need to work on a few things. And then people know exactly what they're doing, so their time isn't wasted as they're just randomly stretching, randomly foam rolling, and hoping for the best.